So, welcome back, everyone. I'm going to actually be just doing another simple review. I feel like with so much turmoil, so much breaking news, so much absurd ridiculousness going on right now in the YouTube watch space, I think maybe sometimes what we need is just a very simple review. That way we can take it back to pretty much the basics, and it's the watches. The watches is the most important thing. First thing I want to ask you is go ahead and hit that link right now and hit the subscribe because you never know. You might not want to miss anything. But anyways, the watch we're going over with today is a particular model that was in the new releases from last year, but it was kind of like a bit of a roller coaster on how I felt about the watch. And that watch is going to be the yellow gold day date right here with that, I would call it Rolex green dial. I mean, this color dial right here is that dial that just screams Rolex. The crazy part about it is that when it was released and we saw, Baza World, blah, 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 whatever the hell it is, Watches and Wonders, I mean, whatever's next. When it came out, I thought, well, that's a winner. Yellow gold, green dial. How can that not win? The first thing initially I thought was how it reminded me that it's the same exact color tone as the anniversary dial GMT. That's the first thing I realized. I said, you know what? How come I didn't think about this? This was a very easy pitch idea, but it just didn't occur to me. So when I initially saw it, I said, okay, that's going to be a good seller. It's going to be good. The weird thing about it is that when I first saw one of those watches last year in my hand, I kind of didn't like it. I know that sounds crazy. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I think what I meant to say was I preferred at that moment the rose gold with the green olive dial. As weird as that sounds. And I guess maybe just Instagram brainwashing you over and over and showing that watch again and again and again, Now I realize that obviously I knew I was going to like it. And especially when I had a chance to wear it, this particular one, I have not worn this exact one because it's a brand new watch. Never been sized, so I'm not going to do that, unless I'm the one that's going to buy it. But, I had a chance to wear one a few months ago, and I realized, damn, I really like that green dial. What's crazy about this green dial is that it's a love-hate relationship for me. Because the yellow gold GMT with the green dial, in theory, I think it's a great watch. I think it's a win, that combination, that sharp Crayola Rolex green, not like the Hulk, not like the John Mayer. It's not translucent. It's like a solid green, Krylon green. Murdered it right there, but whatever. It's a solid, strong green. I love that GMT in theory, but every time that I have bought one throughout the years and I've had it in my box for myself, I end up selling it. Very strange. Very strange, because in theory, I love the way that green looks on that face. But I always end up selling the watch. It's not like a keeper. It's not one that ended up staying in the collection long term. I wonder if it's the contrast of that black bezel. I'm wondering. I think that might be it, because you see my yellow gold black sub, I don't really have any intentions in selling it, neither the blue on blue. Maybe it's the contrast is just too sharp for me. I don't know. In theory, again, it's a great watch. When you have it in the box and every time I open the case and I see it, I'm like, man, look at that yellow gold green. Every time I see one for sale, it like grabs my attention. But whenever I wear one, that's when it kind of fades out. This one, on the other hand, maybe the fact that it's just all yellow gold and it's got that striking green dial, I don't know, man. I feel like they hit it right on the head with this combination. It's one of those pieces that at some point I'm gonna probably add to my personal lineup. I think chances of getting a dial, it's gonna be very slim and grotesquely expensive, which I don't want to spend that type of money on just a dial, especially if it has no diamonds or gems or rubies or anything like that. But At the end of the day, I think that this anniversary dial was a hit. I think for it being an anniversary dial, which is what we needed, feel like that term anniversary Rolex has been just tossed around a little bit too much. I think right now it's one of my favorite dials available in the Date 40 yellow lineup. I would say that my other all-time favorite probably is going to be that black onyx dial, although I would prefer that dial without even the baguette, just plain Jane, just with that nice little onyx natural stone vein that runs around the bottom quadrant of the dial. I think personally that's my favorite dial. But if you want to buy a Date that's going to have a special dial and it's going to stand out, the green is the one to get. There is a reason why they made it. If you want something that's not so turned up, then, well, there's plenty of them to go around. You got anything from a white Roman to a silver Roman. You know, the black motif was also a very nice looking dial. For it being simple sticks, I like the look of that black motif personally. It just kind of gives it a little bit more depth on the dial. But I think the green dial right now is probably going to be the strongest dial in that lineup. I think if you want to get the Day and you want to get the jefe of the yellow golds, the green is the one to go. It's also loud. I mean, when you walk in and you see that green dial, it's going to stand out big time. And that's the point. That's exactly what Rolex wanted when they did this. The crazy part about it is back to what I said in the beginning, is that at first I thought maybe the rose gold was what I preferred. And now when you kind of put them side by side, obviously this green dial is way louder. It kind of dulls out the rose a bit, you know. Not going to lie, I haven't worn the rose with the olive dial in quite some time. I'm kind of like low-key fiending for that bright green right now. I think that's the one. I'm not personally a guy that leans more towards yellow or rose. I think I like them both equally. But I think if you're looking for a watch that's going to have a special dial that not too many people are going to have, this new green dial is probably going to be it. And being that quite some time has passed, there's not many of them around. I can't tell you that I have seen, I think one time I have seen somebody, and it was recently, with the yellow gold green dial on. I mean, it's like barely seen out there. And I wouldn't doubt that the ratio is going to be very similar to how the GMT was. I would say it was almost to like a 1-to-10 ratio on, the black GMTs to the green dial. And so far, it's looking like it's going to be like that too for the Date. There's just not many of them out there, and we already know the way this works to get it. If you want one from the AD, you got to, walk through the hot coals barefoot. If you're lucky to even get an allocation for one. A couple of the variations I like are the ones with the diamond bezels. I think they look nice. I think it pops. Although I think the best looking version of this watch is just with the plain fluted bezel, nothing too crazy. Personally, if I'm going to go with diamond bezels and all that, I'd rather have the baguette dials and stuff like that, or the pave. Just might as well just go all out while you're already going there. Prices. Retail for this watch is about $40K. Plus taxes, junk, blah, 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 whatever. To buy this right now in the secondhand market, the gray market, whatever you want to call it nowadays, it's like, who knows? Whatever you guys want to call it. To buy it not in the AD. How about that? To buy it not in the AD, you're going to probably have to spend easily $60K on one of these at the moment. Again, I don't set these prices. It's just what the price is right now. They're about $60K. There's a couple of them bounce around there in the mid 50s and high 50s. I've seen them pre-owned. I have not had the opportunity to buy one yet. I think everyone that has this watch right now is happy with it. It's still enjoying, and maybe hasn't turned the page yet and decided that maybe they want to cut it loose. Although I'm going to be sitting there like this around the side of that tree waiting for someone to want to sell one, because personally for me, I'd like to buy one pre-owned. At some point, I am definitely going to get one, and I love that dial. Crazy how sometimes when you see something at first, you like it, then you see it in person, you kind of go through like this roller coaster. Doesn't happen to me often. I have been wrong, but it usually doesn't happen. Usually when I see the watch, I kind of know if I like it. Initially, I don't know, maybe I was just shell-shocked by its good looks, but initially I found I don't know. Just there was something there. But the more I see it, and every single time that I pull it out of my safe and show it to a client or somebody that's like, hey, you got anything different or anything else that I haven't seen out of your selection? And when I pull that out, everyone's reaction is exactly the same when I bring out this yellow gold green dial. They all go, whoa. They also say, whoa, about the price. So that's what it costs to be the boss. You know, when these things came out and they were over there at 90K, I mean, it is what it is. But I think right now, the way the market is, you know, I don't foresee them dropping down into the 40s. I think it could be a little while. I would say maybe the bottom in this piece, maybe one day could be 50K, but who's the one to tell that? I mean, I wish I had a crystal ball for all these other pieces I've bought and sold. So pretty much that's it. It's just a very straightforward review. No bullshit. Is what it is. There's a lot of controversy and drama going on right now in the YouTube watch space. And we got to stay away from that noise and just kind of just provide you guys with the goods. So anyways, I'm looking forward to hopefully getting soon some of the new releases from 2023 so I can do some reviews on. One of the highlights that I want to do is the titanium Yachtmaster. Can't wait to see what that's like in my hand. And I want to also see the new stainless steel Daytonas. I mean, that's something we want to see. Chances of getting one of those Le Mans is going to be quite some time, but I promise the second I can get one of those, I will do a review. And yes, it will be outside. I didn't do this one outside right now because in Miami, it's like ridiculously hot. Like you don't understand how hot it is right now in Miami. It's not just hot, it's humid. But feel free to comment below. Which one do you really like better? If you ended up liking the rose gold better long term, or if you're leaning more towards the yellow with the green dial. Also, hit the subscribe button right now so you don't miss any more of the videos that are upcoming and on their way.